If you're a small business owner, by now, you know there's a lot of money that's been made available to you by the government in the midst of the COVID-19 crisis. Today, I'm going to tell you what's available and how to get it and clear up all of your confusion that's coming at you right now. So last week, Congressman Mike Stanton, along with 3 SBA experts, put out a webinar teaching everyone that is a small business owner how to apply for some of this money that's been made available through the government. So there's a lot of confusion and misconception as to how small businesses can apply and what to apply for when it comes to the money made available through the $2 trillion government stimulus package. So I'm going to take a few minutes and clear up as much as possible right here and summarize what was talked about. Keep in mind that as everything else, as it relates to COVID-19, things seem to change almost daily. So every resource I'm quoting or giving you is subject to change at some point in time. So there are 2 main programs for those looking for forgivable debt relief, meaning you don't have to pay back at least a portion of the funds granted to your small business. The first is the Paycheck Protection Program, also known as PPP, and the second is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. Again, these are programs made available by the government acting through the SBA to assist businesses in staying afloat during the COVID-19 crisis. So let's start with the PPP, which tends to be a little bit more confusing. First of all, what is it? It's a federally guaranteed loan that's designed to cover the cost of retaining or returning your employees while keeping the doors to your business open. So you can bring workers that are laid off back onto your payroll, or you can just use it to retain the employees that you've already retained. So, but again, really important to determine or distinction there is bringing employees back. Now, it's designed to cover 8 weeks of your payroll expense, and it's based not only on employee retention, but also their current salary levels. In other words, you can't just retain your people, but you have to keep them at the same salaries. You can't just drop their salaries in half and hope that and use the rest of the money for something else. You have to maintain those current salary levels. Now, the payroll costs and other business-related expenses could be rent, utilities, and those types of things. Again, anything to keep your business afloat. The max loan amount is $10 million. Again, that, of course, is based on qualifying. And you will not have to repay the loan unless you use the money for expenses outside of meeting payroll or other approved expenses to keep your business afloat. So if you're using that money outside of the things that are approved, then you may have to pay that money back. Otherwise, that money is forgivable and does not need to be paid back. Also, there's no personal guarantee and no collateral required for the PPP. Now, who's eligible? Most small businesses are eligible. Small businesses and nonprofit organizations with fewer than 500 employees for starters. Okay, so if you're a small business or a nonprofit organization with 500 employees or less than 500 employees, then you're eligible, as well as sole proprietors, independent contractors, and self-employed individuals that are eligible. Some religious organizations are being considered as well. Now, how do you apply for the PPP? You can use any lender that's currently involved with making SBA loans. So you just have to check with the bank that handles your banking first. Most banks are taking care of their own first. So go to your bank first and make sure that they are doing these loans. Now, you're going to fill out an application, and then you're going to provide payroll documentation. All these loans are, this particular loan, the PPP is available through June 30th of this year. Their recommendation is to apply as quickly as possible because banks do need time to process these loans. Now, I will tell you that already, I think they rolled this out last Saturday. I will tell you that already Wells Fargo has reached their maximum threshold. They put out a max threshold. They said, this is how many loans we're going to process. We're done after that. Wells Fargo, literally in the first few hours, maxed out their threshold. I know that other banks are saying, hey, we've gotten so many applications, we have to put this on freeze for now. So check with your bank. If you can't do it through your bank, then start to look around and see who else is doing SBA loans and try to apply through a bank, even if you're not banking or your business account is not with that bank. You got to do what you have to do to get this done, because again, some banks are just not doing it right this minute or completely done, such as Wells Fargo, from my understanding. You remember, you can apply with any financial institution. So I just mentioned that you can only apply for one loan The usual SBA requirements are waived. What are the usual SBA requirements? Typically, you have to look for another source first. In this case, you can go right to your bank, fill out the loan application through the SBA, and you don't have to fulfill the other requirements that they normally ask for. Now, I've attached a link in the text below that'll take you directly to that application that you can fill out and start working with your bank on right now. Now, the second program is the Economic Injury Disaster Loan. And this particular loan it's basically designed to give a quick infusion of cash into small businesses. It's a loan up to $2 million that covers working capital, but the first $10,000 is not required to be repaid, even if your SBA disaster loan app is declined. So let's say you get a $25,000 loan. The first $10,000 is forgivable, does not need to be repaid. If you qualify for and accept more than $10,000, you will be required to repay the amount in excess at an interest rate of 3.75% if you're a small business owner and 2.75% if you're a nonprofit organization. And those terms, they have terms up to 30 years on those repayment programs. No collateral is required for loan amounts under $25,000. So you may have to put up collateral if you're asking for more than $25,000, but under $25,000, no collateral required. Now, who's eligible for this loan? Any business impacted by COVID-19 with 500 or less employees, excluding businesses that have been established after January 21st. So if your business was established prior to January 21st and you've been impacted by COVID-19 and you have less than 500 employees, you qualify. Some businesses with 500 plus employees are considered just so long as they meet the SBA standard for being a small business. Nonprofits of any size qualify for this, and some faith-based organizations, so long as they provide secular services like housing, childcare, or even food distribution, those types of things, they can be considered as well. How do you apply? Again, I'm going to put a link in the text below, but you can go to www.sba.gov. So sba.gov/disaster. Again, I put a link in the text below. Fill out that application. You do not need to, when you send in the application, at that time, you don't need to send in any additional documents. If they want additional docs, they will request them. Be sure to click yes to apply for the $10,000 advance. And at that point, you're going to put in your banking, your checking, and your routing information for your bank so that if you do receive those funds, they'll put them directly into your bank account. All right. Also in the text, I'm going to give you the link to watch. If you want to watch the full 44 minutes with these SBA experts, this was put on again by Congressman Greg Stanton. If you want to watch that, I'm going to put the link in below where you can watch and kind of fill in additional details. There's actually a couple other programs that you may qualify for. So you may end up just wanting to watch that entire 44, I think it was about a 44-minute PowerPoint presentation on video. There are a few other programs, again, that you might be eligible for, so that I'm not going to cover here. So check that out. All right, guys, do this quick. I've heard that they're only accepting for the economic disaster fund or the loan, that they're only accepting the first 1 million people. I did not hear them say that on this webinar, but I have heard that that's the situation. So I can't verify that for sure. But my recommendation, get this done as soon as possible. You don't want to be left on the outside looking in. On a side note, there are a lot of people out there looking for new opportunities right now to ensure they don't find themselves on the unemployment line again. My real estate company is growing. We're hiring. We're training. I'm looking for people that want to learn to run a leveraged real estate business in the next 18 months with fully trained, with full training provided. So I run a program called Real Estate Sales to CEO in 18 months. I do start people out on a part-time basis. I'm not only looking for people in Phoenix, I'm looking for great people around the country as well as in Canada. In fact, even in the UK and Australia now, we're starting to grow into those into those countries as well. So if you know anybody, shoot them over our way. They'll have an opportunity to build wealth through company stock that's given to them. Of course, they're going to earn lucrative commissions, and we also give a revenue share to our agents. So if you know anybody, send them our way and help them kind of get off of that hamster wheel. So when this happens the next time, they don't find themselves in that situation. Lastly, if you can find other people to help out, please find a way to do it right now. It'll all come back to you. Share this video, share the 44-minute video in the text below. People need assistance right now. So if you're able to help out, do that. We will catch you guys soon.